Hello all, hope you are doing well. The last video we have seen the basics of the surveying, and in this video we are going to see the chain surveying. You know that chain is one of the oldest instrument used in the surveying, and it is used to determine the horizontal distance. Okay, the purpose of chain is to determine the horizontal distance, and you cannot determine the vertical distance using the chain. Okay, so chain is not at all used to determine the vertical distance, so it is used only to determine the horizontal distance. So let us see the important terms of the chain surveying. Now suppose you have a land like this. Okay, the area of the land is like this. Okay, so now in this area, whatever the corners at the boundary are there, okay, whatever the corners at the boundary are there, they are called as main survey stations. Okay, they are called as main survey stations. So I am taking 4 main survey stations here. Okay, so A, B, C, D are the main survey stations. And what is main survey stations? The stations located at the corners of the boundary. The stations located at the corners of the boundary. They are called as main survey stations. Okay, so A, B, C, D are the main survey stations here. Okay, what are the main survey stations? A, B, C, D. If you want to remember that simply, these are the stations at corner. Then if you take any two main survey stations and if you join them using a line like this, okay, using a line like this, then those lines are called as main survey lines. Okay, so the line joining the main survey station, they are called as main survey lines. So what are the main survey lines here? AB is a main survey line, then BC is a main survey line, and CD is a main survey line, and AD is a main survey line. Along with them, AC is also a main survey line, right? Because A and C are also main stations. So the line AC will be also the main survey line. Similarly, BD can be the main survey line, but already AC line is there. So if you draw another line BC, these two lines will cross here. So I need not draw the line BD. Okay. So what are the main lines here? AB, BC, CD, DA, and AC. These are the main lines. Now among the main lines, whatever the longest line is there, okay, among the main lines, whatever the longest line is there, that is called as baseline. So what is baseline here is AC is the baseline. So what do you mean by baseline? Longest main survey line. Okay, then next one is the tie stations or subsidiary stations. So what is this one is? Now if there are any stations on the main survey lines, okay, if there are any stations on the main survey lines, they are called as tie stations. Suppose here is a station, let us call it as E, and here is the station F, here is the station G, and here is the station H. So now whatever the stations at the main survey lines are there, they are called as tie stations or subsidiary stations. So what are the tie stations here? E, F, G, H. These are the tie stations. Then whatever the line joining the tie stations, they are called as the tie lines or subsidiary lines. So now EF will be one tie line and GH will be one tie line. Okay, and you can join EZ and FH also, but if you draw them, they are crossing another lines, so you need not draw them. Okay, so what are the tie lines in the diagram there? EF and GH. Okay, then if there are any objects or else if there are any buildings or else any trees are there in the field, suppose there is a building here, okay, then the line drawn to the building from the nearest survey line, okay, the line drawn to the building from the nearest survey line, suppose this is the building here and let us call it as 1. Okay, so the line drawn from the nearest survey line to the object or the building or the tree, that is called as offset. Okay, suppose this is 1 dash here. Okay, suppose another tree is there here. Okay, another tree is there. Then to the tree, if you draw a perpendicular line like this, suppose this is 2 dash. So now this line will be also become the offset. Okay, so what are the offsets in the diagram? 1 1 dash, 2 2 dash, these are the offsets. So what is an offset? It is the line drawn from object to any of the survey line. It can be drawn to the survey, it can be drawn to the baseline, it can be drawn to the main survey line, it can be drawn to the tie line also, anything it can be. So last one is the check lines. These check lines are used to check the accuracy of the plotting. Okay, check lines are used to check the accuracy of plotting. Suppose you have the 4 stations A, B, C, D here, which are the main survey stations. Now you have plotted them on the paper. Okay, you have plotted them on the paper like this. So after plotting them, check the distance between A and B, A and C, and A and D, suppose. Okay, now if all these distance are correct, okay, if all these distance are correct, or else if all the points you have plotted are correct, then the distance between B and D should be related to the distance between B and D here. Okay, so what I am trying to say here is, whatever the line BD is there, that is not plotted in the field, but what we do is we just measure the distance between B and D. Okay, we just measure the distance between B and D, and here also we will check the distance between B and D at the end. So the line BD is need not to be plotted on the diagram, but what we have to do is just we will measure the distance between B and D, and we will check whether it is according to the actual distance between BD or not. Okay, so these are the important terms of the chain surveying. So next one is the well conditioned triangle. What is well conditioned triangle is, if you take the chain surveying, to measure the area, whatever the area is there, that is divided into triangles like this. Okay, that is divided into triangles like this. Then in this triangle, no angle should be greater than 120 degrees and less than 30 degrees. Suppose if you take any triangle, okay, if you take any one triangle, in that no angle should be greater than 120 and less than 30 degrees. So such a type of triangle is called as well conditioned triangle. So what happens if the triangle has the angles less than 30 degrees or greater than 120 is, suppose a triangle has the angles like this, they are 170 degrees, 5 degrees and 5 degrees. So when you say 5 degrees, that is such a small value, so your triangle will be like this. Triangle will be like this. So now here what is the angle? 5 degrees, and here what is the angle? 5 degrees. So when the angle is very small, what happens is at the corners the lines will join like this. Okay, the lines will join like this. So to avoid that, what we have to do is we have to form the well conditioned triangle always. So what are the conditions for the well conditioned triangle? No angle can be greater than 120 degrees and no angle should be less than 30 degrees. Now suppose if a triangle fails to satisfy the above condition, then that triangle is called as ill-conditioned triangle. So what are the conditions for the ill-conditioned triangle? One of the angle is greater than 120 degrees or less than 30 degrees. So in the given triangle, if the one of the angle is greater than 120 or less than 30 degrees, that is called as what? Ill-conditioned triangle. Suppose in the triangle, if all the three angles are 60 degrees, okay, if all the three angles are 60 degrees, it is called as ideal triangle. Okay, so remember that in the chain surveying, whatever the triangle you are going to form, that must be well conditioned triangle. Then next one is the instruments for the chain surveying. So in the chain surveying, we use different instruments like chain on tape, pegs, arrows, ranging rods, cross staff, or optical square, or prism square, or plumb bob, or offset rod. So first let us see what is the purpose of each one. So if you take the chain or tape, it is used to measure the distance. A chain or tape is used to measure the distance. Then next one is the pegs. Pegs are used to mark the stations. Okay, pegs are used to mark the stations. So here this is the peg. Okay, this is the instrument peg, and these pegs are manufactured using the wood. Okay, pegs are manufactured using the wood. One is arrows. The purpose of arrows is arrows are used to mark the ends of the chain. Okay, arrows are used to mark the ends of the chain. Suppose you are measuring the distance between 2 points A and B here. So first you have placed your chain here. So this may come up to 20 meters. So wherever the chain ends, there you have to keep the arrow. Next you will keep the chain here. Wherever the chain ends, you have to keep another arrow here. Like this, we have to keep the arrows. Okay, so what is the purpose of arrow is? Arrow is used to mark the ends of the chain. So these arrows are manufactured using the galvanized mild steel. Okay, arrows are manufactured using the galvanized mild steel. So next one is the ranging rods, and these ranging rods are used to fix the alignment for the survey. Okay, to fix the alignment of survey. So let us see what is this. Now suppose there are 2 points A and B which are at a distance of some 1 kilometer. Okay, these are at a distance greater than 1 kilometer. Now when you keep a chain here, it will come up to the distance of 20 meters. Next, when you keep the chain, it will come up to another 20 meter. Like this, if you keep on placing the chain, then if you do not know exact alignment here, okay, if you do not know exact alignment here, then what happens is, first you have placed the chain here, then you have placed the chain here, then instead of reaching the point B, you will reach another point by mistake here. So for that purpose, what we have to do is, at the mid stations, okay, that means at the intermediate positions, we have to place some ranging rods, and that ranging rod should be exactly in the line of AB. Okay, so this process is called as ranging. Okay, this process is called as what? Ranging. So the purpose of ranging rods is to fix the alignment of survey. Then whatever the ranging rods are there, they will be generally either 2 or 3 meters in height. Okay, then next one is the cross staff or optical square or prism square. These cross staff or optical square or prism square are used to establish the offsets. Okay, so the purpose of them is what? To establish the offset. All the three instruments are used to establish the offsets only. Next one is plumb bob. Plumb bob, the purpose of plumb bob in the chain surveying is, it is used to transfer the points onto the ground. Okay, plumb bob is used for what? Transfer the points onto ground. The last one is offset rod. This offset rod is similar to the ranging rod, and this offset rod we use to measure the offset lengths. Okay, offset rods are used to measure the offset lengths. Okay, so if you take offset which are 1 or 2 meter, for them using a chain every time will be difficult, because the length of the chain is 20 meters, 30 meters, like that. Now if you use the chain of that length to measure the offset rod, it will be difficult every time. So we use the offset rod to measure the offset length. Okay, so these are the instruments for the chain survey. So next one is the types of the chains. So basically, chain is manufactured using the galvanized mild steel wire of 4 mm diameter. Okay, galvanized mild steel wire of 4 mm diameter. Then whatever the chain is there, it is made using the links. Okay, chain is manufactured by combining the links. So totally 4 types of chain available. In that, first one is the metric chain. So if you take the metric chain, it is available in the lengths of 5, 10, 20 and 30 meters. Okay, only metric chain is available in the length of meters, and all the other 3 chains are available in the length of the feet. Okay, so here now if you take the metric chain, for 5 and 10 meter chain, brass tallies will be there for each 1 meter interval. Okay, brass tallies will be there for each 1 meter interval. Suppose if you take 20 and 30 meter chain, brass tallies will be there for each 5 meter interval. So the purpose of brass tallies is, using them you can measure the distance easily. Okay, then next one is the engineer's chain. And one more thing is, in the metric chain, each link equal to 20 centimeters. Okay, each link length equal to 20 centimeter. Next one is the engineer's chain. If this engineer's chain is 100 feet long, and it consists of 100 links totally. Okay, 100 feet long, and it consists of totally 100 links. Next one is the Gunter's chain, and Gunter's chain is 66 feet long and totally consists of 100 links again. Okay, and next one is the revenue chain. This revenue chain is 33 feet long and consists of only 16 links. Okay, so these are the 4 types of the chain available. Now whatever the chains we use in India, mostly they are the metric chain of 20 meters and 30 meters. So if you take the chains, these are standardized at a temperature of 20 degrees centigrade. Okay, chain are standardized at the temperature of 20 degrees centigrade, and these are subjected to the pull of 80 newtons. Okay, chains are subjected to the pull of how much? 80 newtons. Okay, then if you take the 20-meter chain, while manufacturing, it should not be varied by plus or minus 5 mm. Okay, while manufacturing the 20-meter chain, its length should not be varied by how much? Plus or minus 5 mm. If you take the 30-meter chain, it should not be varied by plus or minus 8 mm. Okay, so these are the tolerance in length for the 20-meter and 30-meter chain. So chain is standardized at what temperature? 20 degrees centigrade, and chain is manufactured at watt pull 18 newtons. Okay, then next one is the cross staff. Okay, so this cross staff is used to establish the offsets. Okay, cross staff is used to establish what? Offset. Now basically three types of cross staffs are available. In that, first one is the open cross staff. So whatever the cross staff shown in the figure A, that is the open cross staff. So this open cross staff is used to establish the perpendicular offsets. Okay, so open cross staff is used to establish what? Only the perpendicular offsets. Then next one is the French cross staff. This French cross staff is used to establish the offsets of 45 degrees angles. Okay, so you can establish the offsets of 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees, all these things using the French cross staff. Okay, so open cross staff you can establish only the perpendicular offset, whereas for using the French cross staff you can establish the offsets of 45 degrees multiples. Then next one is the adjustable cross staff. This adjustable cross staff is used to establish offsets of any angle. Like you can establish the offsets of 1 degree, 7 degrees, whatever you want. Okay, so all degrees offsets can be established using the adjustable cross staff. Okay, so these are the three types of the cross staffs available. Then alternate for the cross staff is optical square, which is accurate. Okay, so this is accurate than the cross staff. Okay, then the purpose of optical square is to establish the perpendicular offsets. Okay, it is used to establish what? Perpendicular offset. So optical square basically looks like this. It consists of two glasses here. Okay, it consists of two glasses here. One is H glass, another one is I glass. Okay, H means horizon glass, I means index glass. Okay, now suppose there is an object at O. Okay, there is an object at O. From O we want to plot and we want to establish an offset onto the line AB. Then what we do is we will place the instrument somewhere at D here. Then from the instrument position, okay, from the instrument position, if this point O is visible, okay, if this point O is visible, then at that point we will establish the offset. Okay, so now this optical square works on the principle of double reflection. Okay, optical square works on which principle? Principle of double reflection. So first whatever the object is there, that will be reflected at the first lens here, then again it will be reflected at the second lens here. Totally it will be reflected two times, then object can be seen at the position A here, point A here. Okay, so optical square works on the principle of double reflection and it is used to establish what? Perpendicular offset. Okay, then instead of placing the two mirrors like this, you can choose a prism there. Okay, you can place a prism there, then the instrument is called as what? Prism square. This prism square is also used to establish the perpendicular offset. So these are the total instruments we use in the chain surveying. And in the next video, we will see what are the corrections we do in the chain surveying. Okay, so if you like the video, please share it to your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.